Good morning. Good morning. Episode 1 of the morning show. We'll see how many things go wrong here. Not that I'm hoping things go wrong, but there's a lot of new moving pieces here. 626, good to see you and appreciate the kind words, man. I'm excited to kind of have this new segment going on here. Um, I always wanted to do sort of a morning show kind of thing, but um, kind of with some of the other stuff I was doing, it didn't really fit in, and now it fits in a lot better doing the morning show. I was able to clean things up a little bit in the back end, make things look a little better. So, hope you guys enjoy it. We'll make sure we try to get through this first one without too many difficulties. There's still a couple things that absolutely need to be. So, we'll get on that ASAP. And I'm going to start and fix something real quick here. All right. There we go. The first fix. All right. How's everyone doing today? Crypto Clay, good to see you. Roger, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm hoping this time too starts to make more sense with stuff, because one of the things I've noticed before was um we kind of missed a lot of the exciting stuff in the morning with the normal show announcement, because a lot of the morning numbers and morning news happen prior to market open. So this should be better for really getting people uh all the news in the morning kind of when they need it most. RPM says he's lurking and working at this hour. Yeah, I think it makes more sense to do it at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. Mikkel, can you share where I can find the info that says the monthly relocked XRP can't be used in the near future for AMM or ODL? I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about in terms of if XRP is in the escrow, then it can't be used for anything. So also, guys, make sure to take a second and smash the like button. Really appreciate everyone doing that. Make sure that everyone coming in or everyone looking to get some XRP content this morning gets pushed to live stream. So exit out of the live chat real quick, drop that like on the stream. We'll take a look at what's going on in the news. There's definitely some huge news to get into in terms of native smart contracts on the XRP ledger, but we'll take a look at the markets real quick, see if anything interesting is going on there. Just tune into the news real quick while I kind of set up the hooks discussion here. Yeah, so that's exactly what we expected. Some minor issues off the start in terms of the sound. We will get that figured out. Did that never come in? Huh. All right. Well, we'll get that going at some point. I could hear it in mine, so that makes absolutely no sense. But We'll get that going at some point here. Maybe not a priority. All right. Well, the thing we wanted to focus on anyway is hooks coming to the XRP ledger. So, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It should have worked. Everything in theory was set up for that to work. I had the sound coming through my headphones. That's the whole reason I've been wearing headphones right now, is to make sure the sound was coming in. But that's why we're taking this first one slow. We'll get through it. Um, that's bizarre. I don't I don't know. Well, that's all right. We'll jump into this. So hooks coming to the XRP ledger. This is kind of the big news right now. Um, there's been a lot of people wanting hooks on the XRP ledger, and last night Ripple actually proposed bringing hooks to the XRP ledger. So this is a bit of a shock. I don't think a lot of people were really expecting hooks to come onto the XRP ledger. Deepin, I think it was hooks. That seems to be the consensus of everyone talking right now. And look, I think it was always going to be hooks, right? I really do. So one of the things that I talked about a while ago was the fact that the XRP ledger is one of the most established blockchains out there, and you can't just push an update like hooks directly to it and not be worried about something happening. So it was always kind of my thing that like Ripple was going to let them push hooks to a side net or a side chain, make sure things worked properly, and then move forward later on in pushing hooks to the main chain. And it looks like that's exactly what's happening. Wietse seems a little perturbed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think Wietse's, since the beginning, Wietse was one of the ones saying that we need hooks and hooks will come to main chain eventually. So I'm not too worried. To me, it seems like hooks will get implemented, and I don't know. It made sense to me why Ripple would be cautious on it, right? Like the XRP ledger is one of the longest standing blockchains. You can't just push hooks directly to it and then just say, oh, well, hopefully nothing happens. Like there's too much value at risk on the XRP ledger to do something like that. Yeah, Evernode would be brought to, and as well as a lot of other projects who require that functionality natively. So I think that would cause a lot more projects to be able to build directly on the XRP ledger. And it would add for a lot of cool native functionality as well. I think what they really wanted to see was they really just wanted to make sure that this thing worked properly on the side chain before implementing it to main chain. Like, in my opinion, that makes sense. In my opinion, that makes sense. And that's what you would want to do. You don't want to just push directly to main chain and hope things work out. So um I agree with the philosophy there. I I want to try this again real quick and see if we get a different result on the audio. Uh yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's gonna work. All right, let me know. Oh, it's working now? Nope. That's all right. We'll figure that out later. So weird. You, you, you think, yeah, I probably am literally just don't have, I have a setting somewhere. Oh, uh, that is, oh, eh, I might, I might know what it is, but that's gonna be too much to tackle at the current moment. That's all right. Next time. Um, Lucio said, sending positive vibes now to John Deaton today. Make sure to go live in Matt. Oh yeah. Is today voting day? Michael, good to see you. Today voting day? Yeah, I think this time overall is going to be better. I think this time is going to work out a lot better for a lot of people. So I'm pretty excited about this time as well. It's going to be nice too to get in when like economic data is dropping and like inflation's hitting and like the Federal Reserve is doing that kind of stuff. So that's kind of why I want to get the CNBC integration going. I just have to figure out why it doesn't want to give me audio, but that's a whole nother issue for another time. We'll take a look at XRP real quick, see what's going on there. It does look like there's some. It does look like XRP as some kind of interesting start to the morning here. So that's always good to see. The other thing is funny is like I'm so not used to kind of interacting with this new setup, so it's definitely taking me a while to get used to all the clicks and stuff, but all that comes. Yeah, so XRP kind of trading sideways this morning, but relatively upward. We kind of had a bad couple weeks in markets in general, so would be really nice to see markets kind of reverse this week. It seems like it's kind of just a choppy period at the moment. A lot of people talking about the SEC $125 million fine. I don't know if there's much like Ripple's just going to have to pay that fine and then see if the SEC decides to appeal the case. Unfortunately, like that's just the order it works. I know a lot of people are saying that's unfair. Unplug your headphones to see if that works. Yeah, that could be confusing it somewhere. It's the desktop audio issue. So I'm not properly. Oh, I know what to do. Um, properties, device. This is a wavelength, SFO audio, wavelength, Neo Live HDM. Okay, this should work. This should work. I actually think I got it. Live on stream, guys. That would be impressive, let's say. Normally this require the thing is like when you have so many different pieces of hardware set up, and I'll have to show you guys the full setup when it's ready. When I get a chance to do that. When you have so many different things plugged in, like you can't get a tutorial for anything because like it's so customized based off your setup that obviously nothing's gonna work. Like how do you plug in this to this and then route it to this through this? Like there's no answer. So it's always like just watching like 6 different videos that all address slightly different things. No, Roger, they're talking about the CNBC audio. So I want to be able to throw on CNBC in the morning. And then, like, if there is like a jobs report, throw the jobs report out, listen to that real quick. I think I might have it. So let's say. No, I don't think that was working. Oh man. I was pretty confident on that too. That should have been the desktop audio moving, but might have to. Yep. Nothing can be easy. I don't know why that wouldn't that should have worked. That might have been the nail in the coffin on getting desktop audio going on this specific stream. Properties. Okay. Da-da. Yeah, next time. All right, worth a try. Let's see what else we got going on in the chat. Yeah. And now it's we shall get it. It's probably like the easiest fix. I definitely just have something like unselected. Still struggling with turning the TV on and off. Big Lou. Hey, Mickle, why are we saying XRP ETF? And we all know XRP ETF are securities. No, Big Lou. Good question, Big Lou. But I think gold's an ETF, and gold is there's a security for gold. There's no requirement that says that in order for something to be there's no requirement saying that for something to be an ETF that there has to be some kind of designation on the security status. So I totally understand the question, but you can have gold ETFs, you can have any kind of ETF. Oh, and this should work. All right. So no desktop audio, but this there are other things I could make work here. All right. This is a good revelation, at least. Yeah, one of the things is there's just so much going on in terms of feature set. You want to try to use as many features as possible, but at the same time, you have too many features and it bricks the entire system when you have them all going at once. So, see what else we got. Wouldn't the transaction from Ripple to the SEC be an official document that would go through the court? I would expect it to be some kind of official document, but to be honest, I have no idea how this part of the court case really proceeds. It seems like it's kind of on a court by court basis, depending on the rules of the court at this point, which is kind of funny because when you're talking about so much money, you'd expect it to be like standardized and like everything to kind of be operating in a similar way. But it seems to me like a lot of it is like on a court by court basis, because I have seen Jeremy Hogan jump in and like answer some of these questions. And it's always like, oh, well, in here it works like this, but I don't have an answer for how it typically works. So just keep that in mind. A lot of this stuff is on a court by court basis. We'll take a look at XRP on the price chart real quick, because it does seem like this could be a pretty positive week if we can break some critical levels here. Oh, awesome, Crypto Clay. Great guy. Share video. Appreciate you stopping by, Crypto Clay. Really do. Hopefully the next time you're on, we'll have some of these little things figured out. So learning process for sure, but you guys are the best. It's part of the reason why I wasn't too worried about it. I was like, there's gonna be some issues, but they won't care. Cool. Can still do the classic StreamYard style as well. Yep, there we go. All right. So obviously XRP is still kind of in this range bound pattern right now. Really want to see XRP push back towards the top of this thing. I mean, it is so consolidated at this point. It's shocking. If we take XRP, throw this down here. Hey, Mickle, do you know what XP Market event is preparing for? No, I didn't even know they had an event coming in. I didn't even know they had some kind of event. So I'll have to see. Maybe XP Market will join here. I don't know. It's possible XP Market is going to jump in, but I don't know if they're going to break the news. So if we take a look at XRP here, we can see it just bounced off kind of the bottom part of this range. It is crazy to me how reactive this thing has been. It's like whenever we get down here, it's almost like a guaranteed bounce and then rejection. But hopefully we can push back onto the top of this thing and keep putting pressure there. This is going almost exactly how we thought it would. XRP just trading sideways. until we get to that October 7th date. So we're close now, guys. It's kind of getting to the time where you would really expect the SEC to either take action or not. So I think it's really do or die time now, whether or not we're going to get this appeal. And I kind of made a video yesterday breaking down why I thought it was such a big deal that we didn't see the appeal. But as you can see, there's really not much more room to go in terms of whether or not, or in terms of the appeal ultimately hitting. Take a look at the news real quick. Also, guys, we have 500 people over on X. Let's see what we got on YouTube. Probably 250 on YouTube. For the first day I'm doing this live stream at this time. That's incredible. I would like to do a little more talk on the on kind of the EVM sidechain. Because Brad Garlinghouse actually did dive into this, but before we do that, I would like to cover Flare, because there's been a lot of talk kind of how Flare is implicated in this entire thing, because obviously what Flare was trying to do in many ways was add a lot of the smart contract capability that the XRP ledger was lacking. So the question is like, where does this leave Flare in the entire thing? If the XRP ledger now has smart contracts without Flare, does this render Flare useless? So I think this is definitely going to be an important point that gets covered. And then hopefully what I'm about to bring up does bring some clarity on that front. So let me cue that up real quick. And yeah, looks like we're good to go here. So, oh yeah, that's, there we go. And boom. Okay. So this is from Hugo Filion earlier today. So he said smart contracts on XRP ledger would make FXRP even better. This would make it even easier for XRP to come and be used with all our other assets on Flare coming from other ecosystems, such as FBTC and bridged assets through Stargate. Additionally, for use cases that doesn't require interoperability through Flare, then the Flare Oracle could be used on the XRP ledger in a way that definitely can't be today. So it seems like Hugo is pretty positive about smart contracts coming to the XRP ledger, which I think is great. I would assume FXRP. Yeah, FXRP. So I was curious because F assets were for assets that didn't already have smart contracts. Yeah, Paul. Definitely. And as far as I know, it's technically it still needs to be reviewed. But I will say this. Ripple already went through a debacle with smart contracts. The first time they were talking about bringing hooks to the main chain, and they definitely got a lot of people upset when hooks weren't brought to main chain. I don't think there's any way Ripple would be proposing the idea of bringing hooks to main chain unless they were pretty sure they were going to see hooks on main chain. We also saw Brad Garlinghouse comment on hooks as well. To me, it seems like there was some kind of internal push to bring hooks back to main chain. It's important to note, I don't know if hooks ever really left main chain. So there was a lot of talk that Ripple was abandoning hooks. To me, it just seemed like Ripple knew that they couldn't go live on main chain with hooks day one because they had no idea what that would do to the XRP ledger protocol. So they wanted to see it tested in the wild before it was implemented. To me, that's the smart and prudent approach. But Paul Barron is 100% correct. Hooks coming later, 2025, not necessarily at the current moment, but as we know in blockchain, right, a lot of times this kind of stuff gets proposed prior and then you kind of see it rolled out later on. So it's nothing really new in comparison to what we're used to via the amendment voting process and a lot of those other things that take place. But it is definitely good. Read Wietse's tweet and David's response. All right, I'll bring that up right now, Roger. Appreciate Roger. If you could tag me that would be fantastic. If you could tag me on the post, that would be great. And if you can't tag me, that is also fine. I should be able to find it fairly easily here. Read Wietse's tweet and David response. All right. Huh. Yeah, damn Taylor's not here. That's a huge miss on the morning live stream. Taylor will join. Unless he's here and I just missed it, but huh. All right, so here's some drama. Oh, he's on. Oh, yeah. It's his he's getting married, right? I'm pretty sure he's getting married. Shout out to Taylor. Good for you, brother. I know you're not watching right now. That'd be crazy if you were, but congratulations, brother. All right, so yeah, so it looks like there is some drama going on here. We'll cover the drama real quick. We'll take our 30,000-foot view of the situation and take a look at who we agree with here, David or Wietse. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm probably going to be pretty biased towards David, but I'm a huge fan of Wietse. So we'll see who we believe is right here. But it looks like there is some drama here. Of course there is. It's the XRP Ledger community. There has to be some drama. And I wouldn't take like any of this like overly seriously. Like, yes, there's going to be drama. There's egos at play. A lot of these people are building very important things. So it is what it is. I'm overall not too worried about any of that. So we'll bring up David's response first, and then we'll get into Wietse's. Am kind of curious. I haven't read this yet, so this is gonna be raw and unfiltered, kind of this debate between the two. And they're two powerhouses, right? They're two of the smartest people in the XRP community. So I think we are going to get an interesting perspective how these two things are working together. Max, good to see you, brother. Appreciate you for saying that. And it's good to see you, brother. All right, let's take a look at this. So this is David Schwartz. This is his post regarding hooks. This is David Schwartz's post regarding Wietse's post. He said, Wietse, to be fair, Ripple had a call with you before any post went live. Ripple supported and funded hooks from the beginning, and we told you many times we'd support hooks. As an amendment on mainnet, I think there is a lot of innovation for hooks, and XRP labs are early proposed, but I believe some updates could make it better through the XRP Ledger mainnet. You're right that I have changed my thoughts on programmability recently, and you absolutely recognize the need for it much earlier. The RX team specifically put this blog out while in the research phase to continue the conversation and work together, hopefully with you and others, on what the best approach is for programmability and anything else put forward. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a pretty logical post by David. I agree with David. I mean, from the start, it seemed like it made a lot of sense to test hooks on a sidechain. Death Ranger, thank you. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I don't know if there's really anything off David's. You know what we have to do? We have to jump into. We probably should have jumped into Wietse's original blog, but we'll see if we can get enough information just by his response. So, I mean, David's pretty much saying, I think, what's kind of obvious here, that he changed his mind. Like, at first he didn't think hooks were a good idea. Now he thinks they're a good idea. That's one of the things I like about David, right? He's willing to admit, like, hey, we might have made a mistake here. Let's go back and try to fix it. So I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with that off the start. I think it's easy to go back and say, oh, you should have implemented hooks this entire time. But retrospect is easy considering hooks went well. If hooks had some kind of issue, that would have not been good. So now we know hooks work, and now we can port them over to main chain. To me, that seems like a big win. Let's take a look at Wietse's response. I will say, guys, real quick, really appreciate you all for being here. I know this is a new time for many. So if you're new to this live stream right now, would really appreciate you following and liking the stream. Two very simple things to make sure more people actually do see these live streams. And then let's jump into Wietse's post here. Okay. So Wietse said there was no call. There was a brief message, not decision makers, in between other messages about a change of heart regarding layer one composability. I'm very happy to see the change of heart and excited for what's coming to mainnet, with or without that being hooks as we've developed any composability in progress. Also, as expressed many times, I'm grateful for the resources provided by Ripple to build and auto hooks. The above things are not what my posts are about. My letter is about Ripple pivoting without further explanation. My letter is about explaining to many people who got confused, sent DMs, etc., what my view is. My post is about hopefully making people realize, or in the future, the effects of uncertainty, indecisive pivots can have on builders in the ecosystem. He keeps going here. He says, I hope my post doesn't come across as destructive or even angry. If my post results in considering this perspective I'm described when future decisions are made, I think it's well worth the write-up. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem like too much drama to me. I mean, that just seems like, guys, Wietse's building a lot of stuff in the background. He's annoyed because he thought this stuff should have been ready a year ago, and he wish it was ready a year ago. And David's pretty much saying, yeah, we wish it was too, but it wasn't. Like, it's here now. So, and to clarify, it's not here now. They still have to do the research phase. It still has to launch in 2025. There's still more that needs to be done. But to me, this just seems like, I don't know. I wouldn't, to me, it doesn't seem like that much. Very, very civil back and forth. And the other interesting thing is, what kind of impact could this have on XRP potentially? Well, it's going to allow more applications to build natively directly on the XRP ledger. So Evernode, for example, Roger, would be able to launch their products directly on the XRP ledger, which would be a big win, because right now Evernode needs to launch on the Zhao sidechain and then essentially port over to the XRP ledger. So having that native functionality on the XRP ledger would certainly be a win of sorts, and not having to kind of be bouncing back in between all these different chains. It would also allow XRP to have some increased utility in kind of how it's used. So different functions could be put on XRP if you enabled it on your wallet. That would, say, be able to block certain transactions from coming in. So say like dusting attacks, it would be able to make it so probably if you typed in a wrong or an incorrect or just invalid address to send XRP to, it would probably be possible to block a transaction like that. And these are very minor things. Like, theoretically, you could spin up a whole AMM completely separate from the XRP ledger AMM on the XRP ledger. So it's composability for XRP that's never been there before. So if we do get that, it could be very interesting how the XRP ledger itself as an ecosystem changes. It becomes an ETH competitor, yes, in a way. It's still a different programming language, Roger. So it's still a different programming language in terms of how these things are written. So I don't think projects are necessarily going to just come over and say, oh, we just build with hooks now, right? It's that easy. Let's just build with the hooks. I don't think that's how it's really going to go. I think it's going to be a lot more work on the front end to make that happen. But that's why they're doing the XRP EVM sidechain. So EVM sidechain is going to be kind of the hook, for lack of a better word here, to bring all those big projects in, because they can just pretty easily convert their project to the XRP EVM sidechain. And then as those projects obviously gain liquidity from the XRP ledger, it might make sense for them to build out increased functionality using the XRP ledger. I want my desktop desktop. Oh, maybe this is it. Maybe I need to import the audio as a microphone. Nope. Dang it. Properties. Brian, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Make sure to smash that like button. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the news here. Death Ranger, appreciate the post. He said, I think the most interesting thing is it probably won't be hooks, at least not how hooks are done on Zhaohao, maybe a light version, or if it with similar parameters and costs because of it, or maybe it goes towards EVM side, even possible, adopted primary language and is already okay. Interesting. So Death Ranger, it seems like you think there's a possibility that it's not going to be the same exact thing that we see on Zhaohao right now, which is certainly makes a lot of sense in terms of, I mean, they're different chains now, and that was explicitly stated. So again, Death Ranger said, I think the most interesting thing is it probably won't be hooks, at least not how hooks are done on Zhaohao, maybe a light version of it with similar parameters and cost because of it. Or maybe it goes towards EVM sidechain, even possibly my favorite. Rust is what with XLM adopted on their programmability language and is already WASM. Interesting. Okay. So Death Ranger, you're actually thinking it's possible that they move forward with kind of more of an EVM sidechain view on it, or at least a derivative of the current hook situation. Definitely appreciate that. That's very good insight. I'm not sure I have a view on it necessarily yet. To me, it seems like they're going to go with hooks. To me, it seems like they're going to go with hooks. That would be my guess. I don't think they would have brought this back up if they didn't have some intention of using hooks, just because they did create a lot of drama the first time. I think Ripple wouldn't want to create that drama again. So just based off of a marketing perspective and developer relations perspective, I hope it's hooks, because I don't want to see the fallout of hooks being half chosen and then not moved forward with again. So we'll see. I think it's going to be hooks. Maybe that's not the best reason for it to be hooks, but I think it will be hooks. And it makes sense for the XRP ledger to have its own style, I think, of programmability. Because if you have the EVM sidechain, to Death Ranger, as I see it, like having the EVM smart contracts on the XRP ledger directly kind of defeats the purpose of then having the EVM sidechain. Now, I guess you can make that same argument in terms of hooks versus the Zhaohao sidechain versus the XRP ledger, but because the XRP ledger is the native token on the EVM sidechain, I don't know. It's almost like you kind of get that for free because XRP is still used in the process, and then you obviously have the programmability of the EVM. With Hook's case, because you're essentially having to leave the ecosystem, to get value, to use that, and there's a different native token. It's almost like a siphon away from the XRP ledger. So it actually makes, in my opinion, a little more sense. October 7th is the deadline for the SEC to appeal. Yeah, I'm reading through the drama right now. It doesn't seem like, it just seems like it's gonna get. I wouldn't say it's anything serious. Fingers crossed it won't get appealed. Absolutely. I hope it won't get appealed either. But we'll find out in the very near future, right? Like we are very close to finding out if this thing will get appealed, and it's probably going to be a little sooner than October 7th too. I don't think the SEC will appeal on October 7th. God, I think they would do it by September if they were going to do it. So it's actually might even be a little sooner when we fully find out. But I think this band right here would probably be where we start to get some momentum, so long as the market continues to look good. So long as the market continues to push on, and we continue to get good economic data, then I think XRP is going to be in a very, very good position to kind of hit this launch zone here with some strides and ultimately really get some momentum moving up. So to me, all that looks good. And obviously, the programmability coming to the XRP ledger is exciting as well. Like I said earlier, there was a lot of drama back when this was originally brought forward and then kind of pulled away. And I don't think this would be being proposed again unless people were pretty confident that they were going to see some form of this on the main chain. So just want to put it out there. It will be interesting to see what ultimately does take place there. But let's take a good call. Let's take a look at that actually. The talk is on XRP scan for the amendment block. So we can definitely take a look at that. I know the AMMs have had some good progress as well. We can look at both those things. So the AMMs almost have 13 million XRP locked in them, which is obviously very exciting to see. It was a while kind of where we had this big exponential explosion on the XRP AMMs, and then a lot of that kind of died down, and it seemed like things were just kind of in a cooling off period. But it seems like we're back in this excitement stage, which is obviously something that's good to see for the XRP ledger. And we're really doing this all without a lot of the assets on the XRP ledger that are going to be needed for the AMM. There's just still not a lot of high quality assets sitting in the XRP ledger. Nothing against the projects on the XRP ledger now. There's a lot of great ones, but we really are missing a lot of high quality assets on the XRP ledger as it stands right now. And I think as those get brought forward, there's going to be a lot more there. So if we take a look at the pooled XRP right now, I think things are looking very good. It's nice steady increase. I think that's up to close to 13 million XRP pooled. So that's nice growth in the automated market maker. We talked about in the early stages how long it took Uniswap to get to this number. It was a very long time for Uniswap to make it to this number here. So to see the XRP ledger get here so quickly is definitely a vote for kind of what's happening there, and shows that there is a lot of interest there. If we take a look at the amendments also, let's take a look at the amendments quick. So it looks like there was some progress on DID as well as price oracles, which obviously two exciting updates there as well. Price oracles are something that I'm very excited for. it seems like that's something that is definitely needed on the XRP ledger. Is going to help with a lot of the real world assets being brought here. So that's something that I believe is going to be tremendously valuable and really building out a lot of these tokenization projects. Brian, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that a lot. And yeah, Roger, thank you so much for the donation, man. Thank you. You're incredible. Guys, we have close to 300 on YouTube and almost 1,000 on X. Make sure you take a second to drop a like on X and YouTube. Super helpful. Yeah, we got 30 minutes to market open. It's going to be interesting. Would like to start the week out strong here. Get some positive opening. That would be huge. To get a nice pause, some nice positive momentum to start out the week. Seems like everything's holding up pretty well in terms of the macro. Haven't really seen too much there that I think is overly concerning. We'll take a look at pre-market here in a second. I wish I had a better tracker to be able to pull out for pre-market offhand. I might be able to do this. Let's see if we can get some pre-market tracking done. Thank you. Any other questions too? Make sure to drop them. Love your guys' questions. They really do provide a lot of value for everyone else in the stream. So everyone who's asking questions, you really do make a huge difference in these live streams. So thank you for all you do on that front. All right. Should have pre-market here up in a second. Appreciate you guys bearing with me on that. I don't know if anyone uses Webull here. It requires so many updates. It's ridiculous. It's like whenever I go to use it, it's like update. It's like I don't want to update. We got Tesla up decently in the pre-market. It looks like it could be a good pre-market. I would love to get into it, but let's see what else got. Good morning. Sorry I'm late. No, you're good. New time and everything. I made sure I didn't promote this too much just because I knew the first one was going to be a little rocky. So I wanted to make sure that I had some time to sort out some of the kinks, and we already had some minor audio issues in the beginning. So yeah. Okay. Jeez, man. Yeah, a lot of technology I'm getting used to on the back end here, but we will get through it and I will get good at it eventually. There we go. Now I should be able to switch this onto the main screen. All right, so here's a look at pre-market at the moment. So we do have a decent amount of things in the green here, which is if the cryptocurrency market, when it's uncertain, I believe just follows the stock market very closely. So whenever the stock market is open in the morning, it's typically a very good sign for the crypto market as well, performing later on. So a lot of what we're seeing right now is pretty green across the board. That's definitely positive, kind of moving forward here. In terms of specific companies, I saw Tesla was up 3%. That's obviously good to see. Tesla's one of the market leaders there, but things look green so far. If they send 200 million XRP on August 24th, that would have been the $125 million fine. Yeah, I don't know if they're sending the SEC XRP directly. It's an interesting question. I would think they're not sending the SEC XRP directly, but it's possible. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the new studio. Yeah, it was a ton of fun putting together, a ton of work, but overall, I think it came out pretty much exactly how I wanted. So, make sure to watch Jake's interview with Vet on the amendments. I actually did watch that. It was a fantastic interview. They did a great job breaking down a lot of those amendments. So, I'll have to clip that up. I'll have to clip that up and put out some of the most important clips out there because I know a lot of people are going to want to see that. Zay, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Ripple said they pay from their cash reserves. Yeah. I didn't think they were sending the SEC XRP. That would have been crazy. Imagine them being like, well, now that XRP is not a security, we can pay you in XRP from the reserve. Probably not realistic. Would have been funny, but just happy to see the fine go out and kind of be at that point in this entire thing. It's crazy how far we've come in terms of that even being a thing. Ripple isn't giving up their XRP. Ripple, yeah, Ripple should pay in pennies. Ripple should show up with trillions of pennies. It would be nice if they did have some way to kind of spite them. Oh, be careful of RLUSD on any dexes. Be very careful of RLUSD on any dexes. There's a high probability that that's not real RLUSD. So just want to make sure people. Adam, good to see you, brother. Great to see you, man. Thanks for joining. Yeah, first live stream ever is kind of the market open. And guys, just so you know, in terms of numbers, like 1,000 people on X is incredible. So really appreciate everyone for being here. Bitcoin hash rate's hitting a new all-time high. So this is kind of an interesting little tidbit because over time, the Bitcoin hash rate has been a good indicator for Bitcoin's price. And one of the things we've obviously talked about a lot is Bitcoin's price in correlation to XRP and how statistically, in order for XRP to hit that all-time high, we really need to see Bitcoin go. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin to XRP ratio. This has been kind of one of the things we've watched very closely on the channel for a while. And we would love to see the Bitcoin to XRP ratio start flashing again, because this has been one of the best indicators for ultimately predicting movements in XRP that we've really seen. So let's bring that up real quick. Okay, so this chart's looking very positive. I'm actually surprised how green this is in the short term. Wow, this looks really good. All right, let me bring this up for you guys. So take a look at this. It looks like we really are still kind of pushing on, which is great to see. And we're actually have the potential to kind of gap up here and really make a strong push kind of above this kind of stall out point. So if we can get a green candle up here, that would be incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the studio. So that is looking really good on XRP to BTC on the weekly. I'm curious what the daily looks like. Yeah, so this looks pretty strong to me. That's good. I actually expected this to look kind of worse, but it shows that XRP really didn't fall as hard as the rest of the market these last couple of days. Still putting in a nice positive uptrend there. All right, that's good news to see. So happy to see that on Bitcoin to XRP. Just to kind of be hanging in there and still kind of pushing upward is a great sign. We want to see a big piece of parabolic movement, but I think it's very probable that we're not going to see that, or at least a big move, until the market gets the certainty that this case isn't being appealed. I think that could be the thing that takes it to that next level. And if we look at times before in the past, we really have had a lot of periods like this where you kind of stall out and then you make the big move. So there has been examples before in the past where that hasn't happened, but another great one is right here. You kind of have this stall out period, wait, reload before going. What defense say? Ripple paying a $5 weekly. Wouldn't there be a document trace of the payment as it's sent directly to the SEC, but to a holding account for some time? That's a good question because you're right. I don't think it is sent directly to the SEC. I think it is escrowed. So I do believe I did figure out that it is escrowed. So it doesn't execute, I don't believe, until it's certain that the SEC doesn't appeal, which is backwards, right? Wouldn't you just wait for the SEC to decide if they appeal, and then if they don't, pay the fine? If they do, not? Like, I think that's kind of funny. Like, what an American way of like complicating it and making it like slow and inefficient. Like, you pay the money, then we decide if you actually get the money or not, or we go back to the drawing board and then send the money back. It's like, what a crazy way to do it. I'm sure there's some reason in which it's done like that, but interesting. Dominic, thank you so much for becoming a member, and Fig Nuz, thank you so much. Yeah, for the first live stream, we're not going to do members only, but obviously we're going to kick up members only again in the near future. Just today, trying to figure out and get a lot of this stuff working the way I want it to work. We'll get there eventually, but yeah, there's already a couple things like it's like you plan everything out, you have everything like, oh, it's gonna work like this, I'm gonna do this, and there's already so many things. I'm like, all right, I gotta change this, gotta do this differently, but that's how it is. I'm glad that didn't crash anything. I just got a scam call and didn't break anything, so that's good. Mark is still trading sideways on the open. Couldn't buy this dip this time, trying to buy my third rental property. Every dollar counts. Emwo, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome. Good for you. Stack that passive income. Yeah, it's going to be really nice when there's a lot more passive income opportunities in crypto, and you can really just sit back with your cryptocurrencies in a safe, secure place and have those do a lot of the work for you. But I think up until then, obviously, real estate is obviously a great option to create some long-term passive income, and diversification is important as well. Hold on. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I had a feeling my phone was just going to keep going. Pickle stream is a scam. Oh, yeah, imagine. Let's take a look. Do I think that Japan's adoption in March? I don't know. What specific adoption are you talking about from Japan? Yes. On yield on IRAs, yes. Where would XRP be by the end of 2030? That's a great question. I mean, in terms of where XRP is going to be, I would hope we have significant institutional adoption by 2030. I hope legislation kind of coming in the back end of this year makes that adoption happen. To me, it seems like everything's lining up perfectly to get a change in the administration, to get a more pro SEC in terms of crypto, in terms to get a lot of the things we've been waiting for institutional adoption. But we haven't necessarily seen that yet, and we have to wait, unfortunately, for that to actually take place. So yeah, it's really dependent. Like, unfortunately, we can't get any real adoption from institutions until the institutions are given the okay. And it'd be nice if institutions were a little more proactive and like willing to kind of take the risk and say, you know what, like we need this technology now. But the truth is like for most institutions, they just can't take the risk and they don't have the education or conviction enough to make that risk. So I think we're just earlier than when a lot of people want to believe we are, which I think is a great opportunity for us. But I think in terms of expectations, I think it's important to realize that most of the institutions are really starting to figure this stuff out now in real time. Like we just literally got the first ETF, so things are early. Taco Pro says US Senate in session September 9th through 30th, then off for the year. Yeah, I don't anticipate anything changing in terms of regulations this year. I think it's going to be a later thing. Almost certain of it. Awesome. Yeah, Roger. No, definitely. It's a really exciting week. Really excited to get that going, man. Um, Nexus Federal Trust. We haven't worked with them directly, but I'll have to check them out. We do trust through a different firm. Yeah, so we do trust in LLCs. We don't use Nexus specifically, but I will check them out. Thank you for the recommendation there, Dreaming DeFi. Senate is here in November and December too. Yeah, I was surprised by that comment. I don't think we're going to see legislation either way. I would love to be wrong. Taco Bro said Brad and Jamie said they think legislation will be before the election, the last week in September. Wow, that would be exciting. It seems like there's been a lot of predictions for legislation that haven't necessarily happened. No shots at any of those two specifically, but I'm almost in the stage of I'll believe it when I see it. Not according to Nadler. That's funny. That's good. That's really good. Wow, guys, this is awesome. 1,400 people in here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the support. You guys are absolutely incredible. Now, if only we had full functionality, we'll get that going. Oh, Canva's going public. Interesting. The IPO market opening back up would be huge too. Thank you, Roger. The IPO market opening up would be huge too. That's been kind of on standstill. That's been barring a lot of liquidity coming in and really been freezing up the markets. Yeah, all the talk right now is about smart contracts coming to the XRP ledger. I'm on the Senate schedule website. They are in a state of park period. Does anyone know what that means? Ripple IPO or direct listing? Well, direct listing is just like you list the shares directly you already have outstanding and you don't raise capital. IPO is when you raise capital through selling shares. I think Jake's probably right. I don't think Ripple would need to sell shares, and I think they wouldn't want to bring in more shareholders. So I think a direct listing is a lot more possible. I would agree with Jake. I would think you'd see a direct listing rather than an IPO, just because an IPO is typically something you do if you really need money. Adam says history rhymes. 1920s, 1930s looking familiar. We need to see a stock crash, confiscating like FDR and revaluation, new banking, CBDC, XRP ledger. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of moving pieces all going on at once, and you need to take everything into account kind of individually. I think it's a no-brainer at this point that we're going to see Federal Reserve rate cuts, and whether or not that is accompanied by some kind of recession, that's kind of up for debate, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the dollar. We haven't done that today. We'll pop the dollar open and see if there's anything interesting on that front. Looks like we're recovering a bit. We highlighted this a while ago, but we did seem to hit some kind of strong floor on the dollar. We are rebounding a bit. I don't think we're going to have enough strength in the dollar for this to stay where it is, and I'll pull this up in 1 second. But the dollar is holding up a bit here, so it should be interesting to see how that reacts. Yeah, so there's the dollar. As we can see, it is finding some kind of strength at this bottom zone here. 100 is like a big round theoretical number. So we want to see the dollar kind of continue to compress back down through here. That should happen, in my opinion, with rate cuts. So rate cuts should be very soon, actually. I mean, we're probably looking at midway through September. I'm sure someone here has the actual date, probably between the 10th and the 20th. We should get that Federal Reserve meeting. Chadwick, good to see you, man. Good to see you, Chadwick. Always love to see you in here. Russell's up today. Yeah, we're about to get the actual market open, so we'll take a look at what things are doing off the start. Actually, yeah, I was gonna say it looks like Bitcoin's going up. It's kind of in no man's land at the moment. Seems like the rest of the market kind of dropped off open. it's nothing exciting off the market open at the current moment. We'll take a look at VTC real quickly and see if we can get anything interesting happening in real time. Market cap chart here. Crazy. This is such an interesting formation for Bitcoin. It's like has this crazy stability to it. It's like just stuck in this pattern. I mean, I think it's a given that Bitcoin's going to move up towards the top of this range at some point and start pushing to new highs. There's just too much momentum, too much institutional adoption in the market right now. I think that next leg is inevitable, but it's really been holding out here for a while. It seems like multiple times now people thought this thing was going to break up, and it's really just been resistant to do so. So we keep our eyes on this, but Bitcoin, I mean, it's not in a bad place at all. It's really in a great place, considering kind of the hardship we had the last couple of years with FTX, Terra Luna, and all that. But we would like to see that push to all-time highs. As we've talked about a lot, it's typically not until Bitcoin breaks and creates that new all-time high that XRP will make its big move. So we're really waiting to see Bitcoin make that move, so XRP and the rest of the cryptocurrency market can kind of get the confidence needed to make that big move up. Rate cuts equal more competition with whales that have cash offers. SMH, I can't compete. Embo, that's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it. I've actually never heard it worded like that. So Embo is essentially saying that rate cuts mean that the big whales are going to have cash to deploy, and if they have cash to deploy, it's going to bid up the prices, making it hard to get cheap assets. So that's a very unique way of looking at things, and I actually like that a lot. U.S. government could potentially shut down 930. Congress has added the SAVE Act voting. Should be interesting. Yeah, government shutdown could certainly happen. Yeah, I just think there's too much political stuff going on for cryptocurrencies to get in the mainstream. Like, I would love to be wrong. Trust me. Nothing more than I would just love to be wrong on that entire issue, but I am not too confident I will be, but I'm just not confident I'm going to be wrong on that. Oh, maybe I keep having ideas of like what's going to be the thing to fix the desktop audio, and I keep testing them out and they keep failing on me. But it should be. That's why. No, no, yeah, still no. Give me audio. Yeah, whatever. Let's see what else we got. 1,500 people. Absolutely insane. Guys, thank you so much. September 16th. It's September 17th and 18th. Roger, I appreciate that information a lot. Okay, let's take a look at what that looks like on the price chart for the dollar. Great information there, Roger. Appreciate you coming in. I'm missing my right-hand man here, Taylor. So really appreciate everyone coming in here with useful information. You guys really help out this live stream. All right. So now we have 16th and 17th, which is where we kind of thought it was going to end up. So if we take a look at what that means for the price chart of the dollar, 16th through 17th. All right. So if we saw this topping in this general region, we could see rate cuts come 16th, 17th, which would hopefully be that spike down there. And as we can see, the dollar for some reason tends to move in these very predictable patterns. So take a look at that. Chadwick, thank you for the gifted membership, brother. Yeah, I know we do miss Taylor. That's all right. Taylor will be back. I hope he's having a great time. All the talk right now is on the smart contracts. That's like dominating my news feed. I can't find anything other than the smart contracts. H bar. Steven caught the membership. Congrats, Steven. Welcome to the Mickle Mafia. Absolutely. Let's tune back into XRP here real quick. $56. Doesn't look like anything overly exciting on the XRP price chart right now. Market open 4 minutes for the first ever market open on the show. Really appreciate you guys all being here. Oh yeah, the Mickle Mafia. Hey, if anyone has a good name for the show as well, need a new name for the show. Forgot to say that earlier. We need a name for the show. So you got a good name for the show? Would love to hear it. Oh, Roger, I just totally need to go get that. The website didn't have that natively, so then I had to get some extension for the website to be able to add it. And then I got to the extension to add it, and it was just a whole nother thing I had to do. So I will hopefully get that going in the near future. To be completely honest with you, it should have been done already, but over the course of moving and setting everything up and getting all that going, I just totally dropped the ball. on getting that discount code going on merch. So I will get that out as soon as possible. Hopefully tonight I'll have some time to make some headway on that. Mickle mornings. I like Mickle mornings. I do like Mickle mornings. Yeah, no problem, Roger. Absolutely no problem. All right, market open 2 minutes away. Let's see if anything else interesting is happening in terms of the news. And if not, we'll let the market open. We'll see where things land, and then we'll call it a day from there. I do have to say, I do really prefer this time slot in comparison to the old one. Really nice, kind of feeling like we're getting ahead of the news. Kevin, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's nice to get up early and kind of get ahead of a lot of the news before the day and be able to really digest things before everything kind of comes out in front of us. And obviously, hopefully, we have some of the technical issues sorted out here so we can kind of have some live news coming in as well to update us on anything happening in the market. Mickle in the morning. That's good, Adam. That's good. I do think that's good. All right, market is open. Market is open. Seems like a pretty mixed day so far. We'll jump over to yeah, so we got a red candle coming in here on XRP. Looks like Bitcoin is also selling down. So not a great start to the week, but we really are lacking a lot of catalysts, and a lot of people are really fearful around the news right now. So I don't think it's necessarily to be unexpected that we are getting some sell down. What I think is likely what we're going to need is we're going to need some positive news throughout the week. Hopefully with more talk about rate cuts when that actually happens, that will kind of be the thing to Mickle's morning report. Oh, I like that. I like that. When's a dip coming? I don't know. It seems like we've had a lot of dips recently. It seems like to me we're ready kind of for the next leg upward rather than a dip, but we'll see. Mickle ahead of markets. That's not, I like that. That's savvy, Emmy. Yeah, have a good day. Have a great day, Roger. Good to see you. All right, guys, we'll wind it up. We'll wind it down now. Guys, thank you so much for coming. First time ever doing this. A lot of new moving pieces. Obviously gonna get a lot better, have a lot more functionality coming in here in the near future. Plan to do this every weekday around 8:30, 8:45-ish. We should be going live. I think that's the time we want to do. Actually around like 8:15-ish. Yeah. Around 8:15-ish, 8:30-ish. I'll start posting it the night before. That way people can kind of see it and know when it's going to come in. But appreciate you guys all for being here. Excited for this to kind of take off and to have this as a new way to be able to break down kind of everything we need to go over going into the day in the market, and then have the late night show kind of be a recap of everything that's happened. Guys, thank you so much for coming. You guys are all absolutely incredible. Super excited for kind of this next stage and really breaking this stuff down with you guys all together in the morning. And for now, Mickle out.